Clash were probably the classic group produced by the punk era. Now, drummer Topper Headon is in prison in Kent, Mick Jones on guitar enjoys mixed fortunes with Big Audio Dynamite, and bassist Paul Simonon leads a new band in Los Angeles.
Breaking rocks in a hot sun. I fall for law in a low one. I fall for law in a low one.
Until recently, Joe Strummer, for many the heart and soul of the group, seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth. The past year, however, has seen Strummer playing live again with the Pogues and move into writing film soundtracks. We found him in the West London neighbourhood where he's lived for the past 14 years.
74 is just a rubbish tip of demolished buildings and the local community, mostly squatters and hippies.
Yeah.
At the time, they modelled this garden themselves.
This was all a rubbish tip?
Yeah. And they built this skateboard, and there was a bike track going around here one time. But the initiative didn't come from the council, it came from the local people. There were a lot of drug addicts too, but there was still people trying something, we had a rock band, there was a few other bands there, We had a contribution to make.
And that over there, that elevated motorway, is the Westway.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, which is a sort of byword for the Clash almost.
That's right, we were called the Westway Wonders, because see those flats there? That's where Mick Jones lived, that's Wilmcote House on the 18th floor. And we used to get a fine view from his balcony down to the Westway, There wasn't a lot to do, so we'd sort of just hang around. We had to make it better. In fact, we made something of our lives by just, necessity being the mother of invention. And glamorizing it was part of it. We wanted to make ourselves feel good. Because the songs I was listening to were all about Mississippi or Alabama or Lafayette, all these exotic places. And what we had here was another world. And so, we wanted to bring some mythology to our world.
Westway, in and out the light, a great traffic system, so bright, attempting to a better weather, spend the night, speeding around, in the yellow light.
What moment do you remember from the Clash, that whole
May the 7th, 77, the Rainbow. That was the first night that punk really broke out of the clubs, and the Rainbow at that time was, big venue, kind of super groups go there, and we played there at Clash, Jam, Subway Sect, Slits, and the audience came and filled it and trashed the place as well, but you really felt that night you're in the right place, a combination of luck and effort, in the right place doing the right thing at the right time. And that kind of night happens once or twice in a life,
You never felt you topped that?
Not really, because from then on, we took it to America. And took it to Europe, but there's nothing quite like the place it was, designed for.
That's right. Have you got any...
I gobbed on you there. Sorry, it's the memories. That thing that they talk about, chemistry between people, really does exist. And when there's four of you could make a pretty good row, we just had to set up in a room and we could bash it out pretty good. That's fairly rare and it shouldn't have been tampered with,
During the early 80s, you actually left the Clash on the eve of a tour and went to absconded, and people later found out you went to Paris.
Yeah. The truth about
What was that?
The truth about this is that it was the eve of a tour, okay? And the tickets weren't selling. And it was practically 3 days before the tour was due to go. So Bernie Rhodes, who with Malcolm McLaren used to light the odd scam, he came to me at night and he said, look, you've got to disappear, okay? I said, well, Bernie, if you really think I should disappear, I will. Where do you want me to disappear to? And he said, well, I don't know. Go to Austin, Texas. You know that fellow there, Joe Ely, the country singer. Go and stay with him. He said, but ring me every morning at 10 a.m. I said, okay, Bernie, I'll be seeing you. And so I took the boat train to Paris instead. So I got to Paris, and I thought it'd be a good joke if I never phoned Bernie at all. So he was going to be thinking he was going to be acting, you know, oh, where's Joe gone? And really he was going after a few weeks, where has he gone? And 6 weeks went by, and I stayed with a bloke that I knew in Paris, and I ran the Paris Marathon too. And eventually they hired a private detective to find me because they didn't know what continent I was on or anything. But he never found me. It was Cosmo Vinyl who eventually tracked me down. And one day there was a knock at the flat, and I opened the door, and there was Cosmo Vinyl, dressed head to foot like Rambo for some reason.
Is this the God's honest truth?
Yeah, that's it.
I've never read this version before.
No, I don't think I've told anyone.
And that sounds to me, to be honest, like the beginning of the end.
I suppose my ego was in rampant control, you know, like getting rid of Mick must have been an ego decision, you know, I don't hesitate to say that. But it had never been any good even when Topper left.
Then you came up with the last version of the Cut the Crap Clash, who, I must admit, and you had a Mohican. I saw them at Brixton Academy, and I've got to admit, it felt like the end. How did it feel to you?
It was the end.